chap here. All right, Alex, hold on. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. It's working. Okay. Done. Now I gotta pause myself. Yeah. Oh, I gotta do it so that you could see me, that we could see you. All right, Alex, hold on. Stay right there. See? Okay. It drives me nuts when this happens. All right, how do I see you? Gallery view, that's how I do it. Someday I'll learn. Okay, I think I got it. Hold on, Alex, sit tight. Oh, people are already here and they're watching us set up. Someday there's gonna be an easier transition for this thing, but it's gonna be a while till that happens. Okay, let's see. Right now I could see you. Good, we can see everybody. Okay, I think it's official. Let me go back to you. Yes. Hi.
Hi, Nat.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I am really good. And the world, Alex, again, we've met her before. We were very excited. She is still new to the pregnancy game in grand relation to things, but not a first-time mom, an experienced mom, been around the road a little bit, and now double buns in the oven. So exciting. All right, what's happening since we last saw you? How many weeks are you today?
I'm 23 weeks today.
Oh my gosh. How do you feel?
I feel more excited. I'm kind of picturing my pregnancy timeline as in, okay, I only have like half of what I've already been through to go through. And this time though, it might be a little bit harder.
Well, I think so, but that's good that you're kind of preparing for that. What are you doing? Like, what is your family's timeline on getting kind of ready and getting your gear and your house and all that? So when do you think you're going to start planning that? Or did you already have everything finished?
No, I wish. Because Charlie, our younger one, is only 18 months old.
Okay.
We've been delaying putting him in a big boy bed. We didn't want to get another crib, so 2 extra cribs on top of the crib we already have. So we're gonna put him in the bottom bunk of a little, like a short loft bed from IKEA, and block off both sides and the back so that he can only get out the front. So he's a really good. He'll only be like 8 inches off the floor, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's a really good sleeper, and it'll just be interesting to see how he transitions. So we're hoping to get that all set up in maybe 3 weeks.
All right.
We have a couple weekends booked up until the end of July. So once we can get the 2 older ones into their bunk bed in their big kid room, then we can take over my daughter's room.
Okay.
And paint that and get the crib in there and everything. So in the 3 weeks, I'm kind of like, I wish we could just do it now.
Yeah.
But
it's summer and there's barbecues and stuff, and don't get stressed, and it's an easy summer in comparison to what next summer will bring. And so it would be, what's so funny about the bunk beds is I don't think it's live yet, but I just wrote a piece for Twiniversity about all like different types of bunk beds, because a lot of people go straight to the IKEA ones because it has that no bottom bunk and it's easier. But I found a lot of them that have that. And where I thought that they were like cornering the market on the whole thing. So maybe you'll get a sneak peek of that page before you make your purchase, just to see, because there were some cute ones and they were in the same price range. So I just thought that it added a little flair. And the reason why I was looking at that too is because I think it's an easier sell for the kids and be like, well, look at this bed. It looks like a cottage, instead of I love the IKEA beds though. You can't go wrong with that. Even
one we found that was used. So we got it for just over $100 really. And we're going to paint it white. So my mom has gone crazy and is decorating the whole bunk bed kids room.
Very nice.
It is such a huge help, and it'll be super cute, and it's still unisex. So and my husband does some woodworking, but for find the time to,
Yeah.
I've looked up the IKEA bed hacks.
Oh,
For us to find the time to put up, like make a little cottage house
okay.
is kind of hard, but I'm still trying. I'm still working on
Listen,
it.
that's why I was like, I found one. I found it on Wayfair.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm sure that they deliver to you, but I found this super sweet little bed. I found a lot of them actually, and they all had a super low bottom bunk.
Mhm.
So that was the sell. They had like a very military-ish one. They had one that was cottagey, but not like super feminine. But it was all like bunk beds that are like out of the traditional bunk beds. That was I honestly found it because I was looking for a new bedding solution, a new bed for my daughter. So
Okay.
so my daughter's like, I think it's time for a new room, but truthfully it's not. But we like to play Let's Decorate the House pretend style on Wayfair. That's my favorite game to play with my daughter. We must watch way too much HD TV. So we came across, she found it first and she was like, I want this. I was like, you're never getting that. But that's nice. It's good to want things, is what I told her. But back in the day, let me tell you something, like, because they were in bunk beds for a while. But had I found something like that, I would have easily bought that for them. It's just so sweet. All right. So besides bunk beds, how are you feeling?
I'm not feeling so great.
Okay.
I'm slowing down a lot, and it's a little disheartening because I was hoping that I could get to mid-August maybe, or end of August and start then slowing down.
All right.
Yeah, I'm experiencing the same kind of pain that I had in my last pregnancy with Charlie, with that, the pelvic girdle pain.
Round ligament pain?
No, like when you actually feel it in your hips and your groin and you get the shooting pains and stuff. Yeah, it's not fun. So,
Definitely.
yeah, it's hard to judge like how much is too much. Like I'll be feeling good today and I go like this weekend we went to a festival on Saturday and it was like I'll be feeling good.
Sorry, that's you talking. I'm trying to not miss questions. I realized that I have to do that. I apologize. So yeah, so we're slowing down. Did you speak to the doctor and did they give you any tips or maybe some physical therapy or something? Do you think that would benefit you?
I had physical therapy with my son. It was the pelvic floor physical therapy and not the most fun to go to, so it better work. And it was really slow going. So I don't know. I could try the chiropractor or something. He might help. But yeah, other than that, I have that the diastasis as well, which the upper part of my tummy burns a lot of the time. So I'm just trying to like slow down and not have to move and walk a lot.
Did you have that? Did you have that with your last pregnancy, or is it just appearing now in this pregnancy?
The diastasis.
Yeah.
I had like a tiny bit of it in my last pregnancy because I remember feeling it a bit numb, but this time it's like burning where I feel like I need to put a nice pack on it. So yeah, I've talked to my doctor about that, but they're not he's a guy.
Yeah. No, it's the truth. You're right. Sadly,
he's not really,
boys more credit.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to live with that until the babies come. And I'm like, well, thanks.
Where is it exactly? Point to it on your body where you feel it.
It's like right here.
Okay, but it just feels muscular. 100%. It doesn't feel like it's below.
No, 100% muscular.
Okay, all right, good. Because there's other things that are up there, like there's your gallbladder that's up there and your stomach, and a lot of times, and I feel like I'm going to talk trash about men doctors, but sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's muscular, move along. But then as the pregnancy progresses, you might actually have gallstones and just they're like, oh, it's normal stuff. It's not always normal stuff. So when I have my families, I always tell everybody, I'd rather you overreact 100% of the time than underreact once.
You're right.
So there's so many things that have come up that people just call me on the phone and they're like, oh, I didn't know that, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, first of all, why are you calling me? But call your doctor. Don't be afraid to ever call your doctor. But I'm happy that you're one step ahead and you're getting that taken care of. It's horrible. I feel Betty is contributing to much louder. You can let her out, please. My husband is still here. You met him. The world didn't. Okay,
Yeah.
dog will go out. We're not in Manhattan. I don't know if you noticed that, but we're out.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in New Jersey. My family bought a lake house like the year that I was born. So I was born in October. They bought it in the summertime. And it's this community that's out of New Jersey, and it's magnificent. I'm on a lake, like it's the city mouse and country mouse. So I go from like crazy urban living where I walk to get everything to where I'm here and I have to drive places. And it's just, to me, I know that's how normal people deal with it. It's weird
Yeah.
to me to have to like be like, oh, I have to plan when to get milk and eggs. Like I can't be like, oh, on my walk home, let me go do that. And the best part is though, I could open the door and the dog goes to the bathroom outside. That's my number one thing. But the negative side is I was sitting on the couch the other day and I look out the window and I swear to you, there was a big black bear and he jumped over our fence, and there's bears over here. Now, I could deal with some subway rats like nobody's business.
But bears.
I nearly pooped my pants and then I swore that I was hallucinating. So I was like, that's impossible. It's impossible because nobody saw it but me. And then my neighbor came home and she was like, did you hear there was bears in our yard? I'm like, I didn't hear. I saw it.
It wasn't a dog.
It wasn't. No, he was huge. I am a big woman. He was freaking bigger than me, this bear. And he hopped over like bloop, right over the fence. And the fence is like 4.5 feet. He was like, la, la, la. It was like circus sized bear. And it was freaking.
So
yeah. Do you have bears up there? Does this ever? So no, right? Who does? Who lives like this? Bear people.
Well, there are bears 4 hours north of us. So you have to get past Toronto, and then there are bears.
Now the whole world is making fun of me and telling me I need to get a picnic basket. This is the judgment of, yes, I will. I don't know who's saying that. It's probably Julie. Could be Laura, though. It could be anybody in our group. All right, so we have pain. Thank God it's not your gallbladder, or at least we don't suspect. We're getting the kids ready. Now, we've had a question that came in a second ago. I think it was Annie. Annie says that she's just not as pregnant as you, but she's worried about her daughters. She has a 2.5-year-old daughter, and she's afraid that she's going to feel neglected. Do you think about that? And if you do think about that, are you actually going to like initiate an action plan to make sure that the family doesn't feel like the babies are ruining everybody's lives?
A little bit. I've thought about it because when we had Charlie, whenever you have you're pregnant with your second or second and third, your second pregnancy, it does, you think, how can I love another child just as much? And I don't want them to feel like they're important anymore. So we did this thing we never had Amelia because she was a little young. She's our first and she's 3.5. So we never had her come to the hospital to see any of the ultrasounds because I had a ton back then too. But then when Charlie was born, we had Charlie give a present to Amelia when she came to visit the hospital. And it was like a welcome present. It's funny what kids believe, but Amelia loved that. And she felt included and she could visit and be part of it. So my husband and I are thinking we're going to do that again this time. And then in addition to that, I want to bring Amelia to maybe at least one of the ultrasounds. So she can see the TV. And then when the babies come, I am a little nervous because there's 2 of them. And like, how do I give enough attention to the 2 that I already have? But my husband is so hands-on. He's so great that I don't have to worry that much because we divide and conquer with everything. Yeah. He will take them and do special things while I take care of the twins. And if I don't have to be so hands-on with the twins, then we'll just swap it out. So it's just kind of, he has his team and I have my team. So I think
it's thank God, man. That's all I have to say. You're so lucky to have a spouse that's so participatory. I don't know if that's the right word. But another question that I just had with that. Now, you said that you were going to take Amelia to a sonogram. Have you ever thought about recording your sonogram and bringing it home so that everybody can watch it? And did you speak to your doctor about that?
Here, I don't know if you're allowed to do that in the clinics here, but I have all of my sonograms in the hospital, and they
Okay.
have strict rules about even photography. Like you have to get a really good ultrasound tech
Mhm.
to let you break those rules
Okay.
and take a video of it. Even if I said it was for my daughter, I have to find the right one because they're just kind of strict here for whatever reason.
Well, you know what's interesting is that they might not let you record it, but they might record it for you. Just like when you get a mammogram or when you have something else, you could get a disc with that to bring to your doctor or whatever. That sometimes with ultrasounds, and a lot of people don't think of it as like a medical test, but it is a medical test. They might be able to record it for you and then you bring it home. So if they control what gets recorded, what doesn't get recorded, maybe they'll do that. So, but the same thing here in the States, by the way, it's no different. Every doctor has a different rule. Every hospital has a different regulation. But ultimately, because it's a medical record, here in the States, you're entitled to access to your medical records and you're allowed to have that. So a lot of doctors are like, you can't do that. You can. You actually can do that. But everybody's like, we can't do it. We're not allowed. But I think we have a few of our ultrasounds on an old school VHS tape because this was back 655 years ago. And I love that my kids watched it. And I remember when they were like 6, they watched the video of them in utero, like swimming around like spacemen. And at first they were like, I don't get it. But they loved watching it. And so while they were watching like, Dora the Explorer and the Wiggles, we would pop in a random ultrasound every now and then. But then I always joke that they also loved watching my wedding video. So my kids do not have the best cinema taste. That's what I say. But it's funny because, we get so, like, I'm sure you do the same thing with your kids. Like they have their favorite shows and they watch their favorite shows. And I try not to rock the boat. I remember when I was little, I was like, I don't want to rock the boat. I know that this works. I have to make dinner. I got to do this. So once I popped in the ultrasound, they really, really loved it and they got it. And then they would tell their friends about it. And then their friends would want to see it. And I'm like, okay, this is weird now. But it's a special video. I mean, it's amazing what's going on in your stomach right now.
Yeah, it really is. It's cool.
I wonder if with the diastasis you could get a better picture because you have no muscle over it.
That's true.
I wonder about that. Since it's missing, we might as well take advantage of this. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I would love to know what they say about that. So I'd be curious. And now what's going on with work? I know that you show houses and you're, the $1 million real estate person up there by you. That's what we're just going to tell people. It's like, if you believe it, it just comes true. So when you sold your $6 million house last week, how did you hold up? Are you doing any showings or what's your plan with work?
Yeah, I'm still having meetings and showings, and I go to regular training. I'm with Keller Williams in London. I know they're big in the States, but they're not so big here. They're kind of new. So in any case, they have a lot of training. So I try and do that because it's pretty low key. And then I still am gaining a lot, and I can still get back to my appointments. So yeah, listings are still coming up and still working with buyers. It's hard. The hard side is going to see houses and getting in and out of the car. So I just pace myself, right?
You see yourself as being one of those realtors that you open the door, let people in and be like, I'll be sitting here. Help you. And then you yell at them, make sure you look at that second bathroom upstairs, downstairs couch.
No, I don't usually do that. I do too much, I think. I have a hard time reeling it in. So
I'm going to already tell you that if you think you do too much, you're probably doing 3 times more than you should be. Because it's like, as chicks, we get to this point where we're like, oh yeah, maybe I should scale back. If you get to that point, it's almost too late. Like you should have scaled back like 4 weeks ago. But yeah, the story of my life. I say all the time, I should do less, even during pregnancy. But all my moms, it's so funny because in Twiniversity class, we always talk about, pregnancy complaints and the most common pregnancy complaints of twin parents. And one of the very first things that I say, how many of you guys are tired? And then like the whole class, of course, raises their hands. And I'm like, well, you have to rest. And they're like, oh, ha, ha, like, of course we know. And I'm like, no, but how many of you are actually resting? Because the people who, it's funny, it's not only the classes, but the people who read Twiniversity and the people that come to Twiniversity classes are often very type A people, which I know you already are. Like, I don't even need to like ask. I'd be curious to know, out of the people on the live feed, how many of you guys consider yourself type A people? But I don't think it's like a dirty word being a type A person. We're somebody who likes a lot of information. We like to be fairly controlling of things because control equals order, not control equals dictatorship. But it makes things run smoother if we could have a better grasp on things. But I have to remind people, you guys gotta chill out. And we've had problems with our families in the city where people fell asleep in a taxi. And then like literally you just wake up in a random Uber, right? We've had people who have fainted in the subway because of the heat and just the regular exhaustion that's happened. And it's so hilarious that we could fix these things, yet nobody really slows down. So please, I beg you, and I beg you more for the kids and for your husband than for yourself, because as moms, nobody ever gives a crap about us. Like, we're like, whatever, as long as the kids are fine, as long as there's breakfast for them, I'll eat later, I'll get whatever's left in the bottom of that cereal bowl. But you have to do it, because now if you're feeling these things already, you know from experience that it's not going to be the easiest of rides from here on out, but there's things that you could do. So maybe figure, like, what could you do? What's realistically something? Do you think that realistically you could sit down for an hour and maybe read to them, or sit down and watch, Bubble Guppies with them or something, instead of, attempting to do the 9th load of laundry for the day? Like, what are realistic things that you could do, that you might actually do?
That I might actually do.
Because of course I could give you a list of here's things that you could do, but what might you actually do?
I would rest, and I do rest in the evening when my husband gets home. I take some time, and he usually gets dinner ready, or I have already gotten dinner ready before he and the kids get home. And then when he comes home with the kids, then I just rest on the couch, or I just sit at the kitchen table and help feed Charlie.
Okay.
So there are those things. And then when Chris, my husband, is getting things ready, getting the kids ready for bed, Amelia's brushing her teeth, and I just kind of lay down in bed and I wait and I gather the books for us to read. So like, okay, come to our bed. So those are realistic things that I do already. I just need to do more of, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's really hard. And that's why, like, we could, at Twiniversity, we could say, here's 30 ways to 5 more times in your day, but nobody really does them. I know that when, like, whoever, like, whatever writer, or if I'm writing something or whatever, I know, like, we're kind of wasting our time. And I feel like we're making people feel worse. We're like, I could do that, but I don't do that.
No. The funny thing that the funny thing is that I was sending info to a couple of your writers for the lupus article and the PCOS article, and both of their questions at the very end was, what's your advice to other moms? My advice is what everyone tells me, is listen to your body and rest when you can. And I have a hard time doing that every day, but I know it's true. So I just try and channel that to other moms and then try and live it myself. But it definitely is harder to live it yourself.
What's wrong with us? Why do we do this? I think we need to bring in a therapist, and we have to have an intervention, because I need it too. I say that, like, oh, we got more questions, but I do the same thing. And sometimes I'll be talking to Julie and I'm like, I'm a fraud. I am a fraud. I'm telling everybody to relax and really take care of themselves. Meanwhile, I can't sleep at night anymore. I'm not eating properly. I may have way too many adult beverages in the evening. Not way too many, but like even two. If I have more than like one glass of wine, I'm nervous and I feel like I need an AA meeting. Like I get very stressed out about it. But there's a lot of things that I tell people to do, and I try to do it, but of course I don't either. So thank you for the advice that you don't follow, but you just hope other people does. All right, so we have another question. Did you have your 20-week scan? See, I know we talked about this. Did you have your 20-week scan, and do you know what these are?
Yes.
Okay.
We found out that we're having 2 girls. So
2 girls. I would recommend Natalie and Julia's names. That's just
we're having a hard time with the names, harder than I thought. But
why? What are some family names that you have?
Well, we like to keep the family names for middle names. So the family names, we already used Catherine for Amelia. That's her middle name. And so Chris's mom's name is Carolyn, and we love Carolyn. So hopefully we'll use that for one middle name. And my mom's name is Sarah. So we're kind of playing with those. And Elizabeth is on the list as a middle name. But first names are a lot harder because that's the name they go by.
What about, I'm trying to think of what would go with your kids' names already. What about Olivia? Might be might be on there. That seems to go in that genre. I want to say Emma because it seems the trend has gone down, which is good because then when the girls are in kindergarten, they're not one of 1,000 Emmas. So I noticed that Isabella was also big, then went away, and that's good for you. What else? There's so many beautiful names. Do you want them to be matching almost or rhyming, or do you have any requirements whatsoever?
We don't want them matching or rhyming.
Okay, good.
We just want them all to fit in the same era as Amelia and Charlie, who is Charles, but he goes by Charlie. And the one that's kind of sticking on our list that we're working around is Fiona, and we love Fiona.
That's good. Okay.
But who knows? We might not even end up with Fiona because that's the one that keeps getting in the way too. So
yeah. So we have. Do you want to hear the recommendations?
Sure.
Okay. So we have Lila. We have Grace. We have Ella. We have Penelope.
Penelope, I love.
Olivia's good. People liked Olivia. They really enjoyed that. I don't know where that came from. Brighton was another name. So we could play the name game all day. You want names. Honestly, I remember when John and I were trying to come up with names, it was literally out of a book and then out of 1,000 opinions that everybody had of what it was. And it's funny that the names that we came up with, we always knew that Johnny was going to be John because John was named after his father, after his grandfather, blah, 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 all there. Anna's name was the one that was like, we didn't know. And I had so many different names and I really wanted Amanda. I was like, Amanda is such a beautiful name. And when they were born the week before Christmas. And so in the hospital, like in the little gift shop, they had like, the baby's name on things. And they had like, a whole row of them. So somebody bought John and my aunt bought John and Amanda. And so we have these Christmas ornaments on our tree, but clearly we did not opt for Amanda. Her name is Anna, but her name is Anna Amanda. But I love it. Somebody was saying, why is this, still on your tree? But I love the story of that. I love the story that I wanted to name her Amanda, but she didn't look like an Amanda. She looked like and that's kind of what happened. So you could have a list of 20,000 names, but until you meet these little chicks, you might not want to name them.
Yeah, we keep expanding our list every night, and then or I keep expanding my list every day, and then I talk about it with Chris, and then it goes back down to 2. It feels like we should have more than just 2.
No, that's actually really good if it's just 2. And you can always be more, but if it always gets narrowed down to those 2, you could be pretty confident that you made good name choices when it's so that's pretty exciting. Oh, that's really exciting. Are you going to involve the kids perhaps into maybe I know that's a dangerous situation because then they'll be like, her name should be Scooby.
Yeah, actually Amelia has good name suggestions. It's just not what we're looking for.
What were her suggestions?
She thinks that they're going to be named Bella and Emily. And the only reason being is because our babysitters, the ones that we kind of juggle back and forth, are named Bella and Emily, and she loves them.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it is. But
those are your role models.
Yeah, they probably won't be Bella and Emily, but I at least they're not like a little crazier than that. So I won't throw out the crazy names that I think in case I offend anybody.
I loved crazy names. I really do. I had many crazy names on my list. None, of course, made it to the final countdown.
Yeah,
but,
your name is very traditional.
Oh, John, could you get that, please? Sure. Sorry. An umbrella was just about to fly away. The kids named purposely named after aviators? My husband wants to know. Charles and Amelia.
Is Charles aviator?
Yes. Right, Charles who? Charles Lindbergh. Charles Lindbergh. He was. Look at that. She didn't even realize it. Of course, Amelia Earhart. Did you hear the scoop about Amelia Earhart? That they believe that perhaps she did not die in that plane crash. Am I the only person who reads the stupidest news? I have no idea what's happening in the real world, but I know that thanks to BuzzFeed or something.
I read that news too, and I shared it on Facebook.
Did you? Okay, good. I feel a little bit validated that I'm not. I was like surprised by that. So yeah, look, you have famous aid. Maybe we stick with.
Maybe I just need to look for aid. Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, pilots. Yeah, Amelia, I love the name Amelia, and I always think of Amelia Earhart. She wasn't purposely named after Amelia Earhart, but she loves planes. So does Charlie's a little young, like babies all love planes and trains and boats. But Amelia has stayed interested in planes and flying. It helps to watch Paw Patrol with Sky, Sky has her airplane. And
when they get older, you should take a trip down to DC. They have the aviation museum, and they have Amelia Earhart's plane and all of her clothes. And it's so, I think, as far as being like a girl mom, she's one of the most inspiring female figures that we've had. Unless we find out that she didn't die and had like a torrid affair with some random guy on the beach for years and didn't tell anybody, then maybe it might change. But even then, I think she never stopped. And it would be, and I think about your daughter, and if she ever has to like write a report for school, like that's she's such a great inspiring figure for chicks. But yeah, we're gonna have to go look up other famous female aviators.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so we got our names, we got our girlies. At least now that helps you a little bit more with the planning of their room. Or do you think that you're going to do a theme for their room? Do you think it's going to be like woodland creatures or, zoo animals or ballerina bears?
If I let my mom take the reins, then it would be all completely redone. And we've looked at flamingos and just like vintage flowers and everything, but I'm on the more conservative side. I'd love to redo it all, but we love Amelia's room, and there are two girls moving into Amelia's room. So the artwork is staying there, and it's not going with Amelia to her new room with Charlie. So we're gonna paint it like a light lilac, purple, gray-ish color.
All right. Lilac, purple, gray. Okay.
Yeah. And you'll see. I'll take some pictures, and it goes with the art that's already in there, and it'll look cute. It's just I would rather focus on the things that we really, really need, because there are going to be things that come up that we need, like diapers. and I don't know, diapers stick out in my mind.
Diapers. Well, see, that's good. So is that what you're going to try to stock up on most?
Yeah, I think so. Which is, to me, I'm a little disappointed maybe in myself because
stop already with the guilt.
Because when Amelia was a baby, we cloth diapered
Okay.
And I would love to do that with the twins. It's a lot of work. Like I'd be doing laundry every day, but the amount of diapers that we're going to go through is just insane. But after Amelia was out of the cloth diapers, we started Charlie in the cloth diapers, but I was working with Charlie and taking him to my meetings and appointments and showings, and it just didn't make sense if I was out all day to bring like 5 like thick cloth diapers and carry the dirty diaper bag around with me. So we ended up selling pretty much all of our cloth diapers and using disposables, and it's been much easier. But to think of how much we're going to be going through is a lot. So yeah, we're trying to stock up on diapers and and wipes and all that. I used to make my own wipes too, but when there's 2 babies.
Time out. Did you just say you were going to make your own wipes? How are you making your own wipes? Out of what?
Out of Bounty paper towel.
Yes, that's so classic. So you do the select size, and then do you cut them in half, or you just keep ripping the select size?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We cut the roll in half.
Yes.
It's the select size, so they're like little squares.
Yes.
And then I had containers, 2 containers, so we could always have one on the go. And I used coconut oil and water and lavender, and they worked for me. I love them, but again, it's another thing to do.
Now, when you did it, you literally sawed the roll. I want to visually do this because I think we're going to do this live, because this is something that's always been on my mind. So I have the whole roll. I saw it down the center. So I have 2 rolls. If I were to pull them up, they're just half size. Yeah. And then I take a container. It could be a Rubbermaid, like Tupperware or whatever. I put in there. Do I make a slit on the top so that I could feed it through, or you never went that far?
I had like a tall container, like this tall, you can tell. And it was a round top, and so I could fit before putting the roll in, I'd take out the cardboard center, and then you pull from the center, so they all come out like really neat, and then you just rip them off.
So what, you soak them in this coconut oil water combo, and then the tube in the center gets softened, so you pull out the center, and that's when you grab it from the center?
I take out the tube before I put in the water or anything.
So you just jimmy out the tube. You just pull that out. And then I make the combination of coconut oil, water, and lavender. And I put it in like a bowl, and I immerse the whole thing in this mixture, or I just sprinkle it on the roll.
We're going to have to do it live, I think.
We have to. I need to see this. I am officially adding this to the Twiniversity bucket list, because I know so many moms who do it. And I'm like, I can't visually picture this, but I also have a sick love of Bounty paper towels that if I don't have Bounty, like I can't use anything but Bounty paper towels, which is hilarious. But even when we came out here, the very first day I went and bought 6 rolls of Bounty paper towels, and it's got to be the select size. And I also prefer the huge or mega roll. Like, I'm that particular about because I did not know that there's like 8 different types of Bounty select size. You get like regular, double, huge, and so the mega is my dream roll. Let's have our discussion on paper towels, because this is how passionate I'm about.
I used to use the regular, which it actually was harder to find the regular, so the smallest size, because you go to Walmart and they have the super size. They don't have regular sizes. So I think if I do end up doing that again, like, why waste my time doing one with a regular roll? I just need to get a bigger container and put a whole jumbo roll in. But what I would do is put the jumbo roll in the container dry, and then I'd make up the whole mixture in a measuring cup. And so you do hot water and oil so that it all melts in. I throw it in the microwave to make it hotter so it all melts, and then put the lavender in. And then I pour it all on top, like a little, so that. So
is it like a Clorox wipe container, like something like that?
That would, but that's pretty small. Like, it's smaller than you can find in Bounty rolls, right?
I really need to start doing some homework on this. We have to do this. I think this is going to be a family project, and maybe our next live feed, we make water, because I think it's great. I really do. My friend Tara always made her own wipes, and I was like, how do you do it? I don't understand. But I just kept buying wipes. But if there's people who are really worried about what's in them, and you don't have to worry about as much. And the coconut oil really does work, and then it could smell like anything. I always want, do you guys have Miss Myers up there, the soap?
Yes, we do.
So there's Miss Myers makes a soap, and it's a basil soap.
Okay.
That's my second addiction. If I had to have like things that are important to me in my life, and smelly hand soaps. And I've done this since the kids were little, because I realized I wash my hands so much, because when they're tiny and they're throwing up and you're cleaning food and you're cleaning poop, that even for the quick second that I would use a nice soap and my hands would smell wonderful, it made me happy. So the basil or orange are the 2 scents that I did. And so it got expensive because Miss Myers is not cheapo. So it added up really fast. And that's when I was like, I could just make this. I could just make this with an essential oil and an unscented hand soap. So I did for a long time. And now we've actually moved. Did you ever see those pumps? But you could buy them on Amazon. And they are pumps, and you fill them 3/4 with water and 1/4 with soap. And it becomes a foaming hand soap.
Right.
They have them every place. But instead of just buying them ready made, I can make them so that they smell really nice. And here's another weird little funny thing. As I was looking on Amazon for this hand pump, there's a video of like somebody like demonstrating like this hand pump, and this is how you use it. And the person that was in the video is now the marketing person for Baby Bjorn, who's a twin mom. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Bridget. I was so excited. I was like, I know her. I have to buy 3 of these now. So clearly she doesn't work for that company anymore. But I called her and I was like, does that pump really work? Because I don't want to waste $10 and she's like, no, it doesn't work. But we've had it now for I think 4 years, and we've been refilling it. It's extraordinary. Jewel, if you could find that with Bridget, she could throw a link up there, but it's one of those things. All right, we're talking about way too many things that are pregnancy related. I'm very excited to talk to people and not bears. That's how it goes. So we're preparing the rooms. We're getting the big kids ready. Your mom, if she doesn't take control, or maybe she does take control and we have full on flamingo action for the girls' rooms. You're going to not move as much. You're going to take it easy and show less houses. How are you doing in the car with your seatbelt?
Okay. It's hard. We got a new car, so it's hard to get, like, we got an Odyssey.
Okay.
So I'm short, like I'm 5'2". Okay. And getting up there, I can't just like scooch my bum up and like rotate my legs over. I have to like throw a leg up, which is hard when my pelvis is hurting and everything. So I do that, I squish in, and we'll see how, like, I'm the only driver in our family. So
oh my goodness.
I take the kids to daycare and my husband to work every morning, then try and I pick up the kids at the end of the day and try to pick up my husband. But I'm worried about how long I'll be able to drive.
Well, you can't, if you have a C-section, you're going to be off driving duty for a little bit. So you're going to have to find a backup plan for a bit.
Well, that's after stay. Yeah. If I have a C-section, that'll be after C-section. Is that like 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
You know, technically your recovery is really 6 weeks, but it depends on how you feel. So the issue with the C-section is that the incision is low. And when you move your legs from gas to brake, that you're moving your legs up, and perhaps you're moving them in a position that's not good for your incision. So that's really the issue. And they really don't want you using too many muscles yet. And God forbid, of course, you do get into an accident. That's going to be super bad because you have an open wound that isn't healed yet. So that's the biggest issue, is that you, God forbid, or even if your belly just hit the steering wheel, if your stitch is busted open, that's not going to be the most fun afternoon you've ever had. Oh. So you may want to find just, I would say at least 2 weeks, minimum 2 weeks. no driving. I would even watch the steps. And to make it be perhaps 2 weeks, you have to even be more militant about the 2 weeks that you're home than a regular person. So where somebody gives themselves 6 weeks to heal, if you're going to go into the advanced healing section, then you really can't push it. So that's going to be an issue for Charlie too, because if he's like, Mom, pick me up, hold me, but no, thank you, kind sir. So maybe stop picking him up. Well, the thing is your belly is probably he's not going to want to climb on you because it's going to be a shelf soon. Now that I know how tall you are, you're just going to start coming out like Kylie's. So just, I don't know what to do about that, but I know at least 2. I would really say 3 to 4, as crazy as that sounds, but speak to your doctor. And out of you guys that are on now, if you did go back to driving, how quick did you drive? We can ask this to our general group too. So yeah, so we got that. We got a lot of stuff to do. You got prep to do. And do you have any questions that are keeping you up at night right now?
No, just the babies are keeping me up at night. But no, I don't think I have any questions. Last time we talked, you said to look into a CPR class.
Yes.
So I have done that, and there's one offered in my city for free, and it's the first Tuesday of every month. So we're gonna jump on that one next month. Good. And at least as like an intro, just so we have the basics. Because the other one I would prefer is way too close to when I'd be expected.
Okay, good. Do it. Do they have any intro like sibling classes at the hospital? Some hospitals offer. Nah, they got nothing.
The only hospital, well, London is such a great city for hospitals. Like, we have one of the best hospitals in southwestern Ontario, but it's a teaching hospital, and it's the only hospital that you can deliver at. There are 2 other hospitals in London, and you can't deliver at either of them.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah, and so they don't even have tours. Like, you go online and you can look at pictures and like some of the pictures that they have of the hospital, and then they don't have anything for siblings, which is disappointing.
Look at this. Say hi. Stop and say hi to Miss Alex. No, it's okay. You could say hi. This is Johnny.
Hi.
Babies. That means that there's another one right behind it.
Wait, you're live?
Yes, I am. Oh, and now the dog came in. Anna, say hi to Alex.
Hi, Anna.
Oh my gosh. You drew this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look what she drew at camp today.
Oh my gosh, that's
that's pretty good, Red.
Hi, Dad.
Not too shabby. All right, let me just say
Thanks,
that, Alex,
Heather.
and talk to her. Give me a few more minutes, all right, guys?
Let me show Dad.
Yeah, show Dad. That's pretty impressive, I have to say the truth. She's doing really good. They're going to art camp, and it's all different arts. He's doing digital photography, and she's doing digital painting and computer animation and stuff. The whole house shakes as they run by. Okay, so you got your CPR class, you know your hospital, but you're not doing a tour. But you know what to look for, right? You know you got to go check out where the NICU is and the nursery is and all that. So go look at that. And that's it. So next time I talk to you, your CPR will be done. The 2 rooms will be 100% complete. You'll be wonderfully rested for hours upon hours a day. You'll already have stopped driving.
Yeah.
Oh, right. This is the advice. Like, if our writers were saying, what would you tell other moms? So this is that crazy advice that nobody listens to that we're going to do. But thank you so much for taking your time for me today.
It's my pleasure. It's nice to talk to you again.
Calling. It's good. I'm glad you got to meet my husband and my twins, which is rare. They're never usually all together in the same room. The only one you didn't meet was Betty.
Yeah.
Oh, but you met her last time, didn't you, when she on? Yeah, so Betty's done. Oh, she smells horrible, and she's covered in mud. So, yeah, I'm going to skip that. All right, if you need anything, you know where to find me. So I'm getting 1,000 text messages now. Everything's happening. But good luck. And tell me if you need anything. I'm right here.
Thank you.
You got it, girl. Good luck this month, and I will see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Nat.
All right, girl. Talk to you later.
Bye. See you.